6th of November, and we're sitting here in the Columbia Theater with the Backyard Babies. Hello,
Yes.
nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, how it smells?
Yeah, something was smelling really, really bad, and that was my fucking shoes. Oh.
It's rock and roll.
Well, it's kind of. This is only the second day on tour, so I wonder how it's going to smell in about 3 weeks.
It's the second day of the tour, so far.
It's the second day of the club tour, so to say, the European club tour. We started in Hamburg yesterday, so yeah.
Okay, and how do you think the tour is going?
Amazing. It's I like both things, but to be honest with you, it's after because we've been out playing festivals all summer, which is great, but after a while I usually get pretty tired of festivals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like same old, same old. It's always something special, I think, when you do your own shows back in the clubs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And did you ever think about to create your own festival?
No, I mean, there's a lot of both like other artists and friends who are doing that. And to be really honest, I don't know why, because it's so much work behind it. And it's also so many festivals around, so it's really, really a dangerous thing, to put money into. So I would never ever do that. No.
But also like why we started this band was just that we didn't want to be working in a fucking office. Like working with the festival is like being an accountant. It's like got to be like tons of paperwork and shit. No, I rather, but if I have some friends, they can book us, but no, not really.
Mm. And do you go to?
You've been to a lot of festivals.
I've been, yeah. There's Sauna Open Air in Finland.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic festival, great organization. But what do you think when you go on festivals and you don't play there, just as like a fan? Do you think sometimes that small bands could play on a headliner position? So that switch, that some headliners play in the morning or in a early afternoon?
Well, that depends. I mean, there's a festival called Hellfest in France, outside Lausanne, and they have so many, big names.
Yeah.
So I mean, even the more like famous band, whatever, play really early in the day. So it's. I think that's the cool thing with festivals, that you can actually go check bands out anytime during the day or evening.
But I mean, it would be good because I mean, of course, the festival, the people that arrange the festivals, they want people to get there early, so they got to do something to get the people there,
And sometimes for the smaller bands, it's maybe a great chance to play in the afternoon or in the evening to get bigger. Do you think so?
Yeah, of course, it is. But also there's also just with festivals, because, a typical midnight spot at festivals might not be so good a Friday night, because people are so fucking hammered that they won't remember what they heard the day after. So maybe like a 2 o'clock afternoon spot is better in the long term, So, yeah.
And what's the best place for you to be on a festival when you play there?
Well, everywhere. I mean, Germany's, I'm not just saying that because of this, but German festivals has a reputation, which is also true, with great arrangements. And, mostly festivals around are great when you finally are on stage, but it's also a lot of things that, the crowd doesn't really see, like, backstage areas or the, food and the hospitality. And Germans are always great with that. Finland is good too. We just came last week. We did last week a late festival that was the last festival in Japan, and Japan is always amazing as well. Okay. So it's an indoors festival called Loud Park, which is like in a big, what is it called? Tokyo Saitama Super Arena or something. About 30,000 people. Yeah.
That's huge.
But that's another thing with gig times and stuff, because Japan in general, you play really early. Mm-hmm. So the band that headlined our day was Slayer.
7 o'clock or something.
Yeah, Slayer was headlining, and that was like 7 o'clock, because curfew for the whole festival was at 9. So, yeah.
And do you know why?
No, because it's always like that in Japan. I don't know why. I guess they got to go up
Go
early.
to work the day after at 5 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's,
Okay. And what do you think? Why is Germany such a great place for festivals, and why are not so many festivals existing like in America? So that America.
Because Sweden has a lot of mountains and shit, you know. So this is a very flat country, so it's a big fields to go bananas on.
Yeah, but there's Rock in Rio or something in South America, but in North America, do you know some festivals there from a name?
they got all these festivals that travels around, like the Ozfest, the Vans Warp Tour, whatever, Sony Swear. Yeah, so they got tons of festivals in the States, but in a little bit in a different way. Our festivals in Europe are more like Wacken has always been there.
A little bit like Sweden Rock.
Sweden
is
Rock
getting,
has always
yeah.
been there, and it's more like not like a traveling festival, but these kind of festivals are cool, like Ozfest and Vans Warp Tour and stuff like that,
Do you have some difference in your shows when you play on a festival, except to a club show?
Well, you always have to, mostly, like a full set is 1 hour. Like today, we're going to play almost for like 1.5 hours. So I guess that, we're still a band that does not play like the headline spots. We get good times, but still, we are trying. I think that we play for the fans at the festivals, but we also kind of use festivals to try to gain new fans, because that's the good thing with the festivals, because there's a lot of people walking around, and if you can get their attention. So sometimes maybe for super fans we are playing a bit more boring set for them, because it tends to get more like a greatest hits kind of thing. Yeah.
And today you play songs from the new album and some old stuff, I think.
And some more like B-sides, and a little bit more for the the hardcore fans. Yeah.
But how do you make it that the new album sounds like you exist since 2 years, but you already exist like 28 years? You created your band when I was born.
Oh my God, that's why we're so tired. We're getting old.
Yeah.
No, but we also had Backyard Babies. We actually played here like 2010. That was our last tour we did, and then we took like a longer break or a holiday for the first time in over 20 years. So I think that was a genius move, because that's why I think that the new album sounds, I'm super happy with it, and it sounds great, because we had a few years to relax and to get that spark to play music again. Rock and roll music is very, it's important to have fun.
Yeah. And what do you think? Why is rock music and heavy music the music that exists the longest time in history?
I don't know what it is, and I don't want to really think about it either. It's just like one of those fine, in other music genres, it would not be possible for a band like Backyard Babies to take almost like a 4 or 5 year break from the scene and then come back, because everybody would have forgot about you. But with both like rock music and, like you said, like metal music, or even punk music, like guitar music in a way, and once you like get them to be your fan, they're going to be fans forever, and that's a beautiful thing, I think.
And do you still collect something like CDs or vinyls or tape, for example?
Yeah, I'm kind of schizophrenic with that, because I'm actually a fan of new technology as well, especially for like being a touring artist. It's I can't remember, like, it's not that long ago, it's like 10 years ago. I had like you had one suitcase with your clothes and shit and stage clothes, and then you had like a whole bag full of CDs with you on tour. And now you have like Spotify or whatever you can check out. But on one part, I think it's kind of I listen to music that I kind of like on Spotify, but the bands that I love, I still buy vinyl actually. So when I'm at home, I enjoy putting the needle on and like the whole
special sound. What about you?
Well, I try to buy music digital, but I really don't buy records anymore. Okay. Not even vinyls, because I don't have a vinyl player, and I have so much vinyls as it is, and I don't know where to put more records. I collect guitars.
Oh, you collect guitars?
No, but I mean, I got, you know, we talk about it all the time. I mean, what is wrong? You have so much stuff these days. I think in one way, it's kind of cool that things are now digital, you know, when you don't have to actually, I mean, if you take a CD, all that plastic and all that space it takes up, like, you know, it's really kind of crazy in one way, you know, so it's... So
well, I mean, CD was it's a big mistake, I think, you know, like from the beginning till the end for me. Like I don't see any sexiness in a CD, like not one part of it.
Yeah, vinyl looks better.
It's unbreakable. Even a dog can bite it.
No, yeah, well, I mean, vinyl's got a thing that, you know, like, well, you know, I'm pretty sure that, well, I am certain of that. You know, in 100 years, there's still going to be vinyl records, because it's such a perfect product, in a way, you know. But you know, I'm a little, you know, I'm thinking as well, you know, I became a dad 2.5 years ago, and now I'm thinking about, you know, when I'm going to be gone, what am I going to leave left for my son? You know, like, of course, he's going to know that my daddy was a musician. But, you know, there's nothing left, like, you know, what is he going to, like, log into my streaming services and see what I was listening? You know, there's something beautiful with records as well, like LPs, because you leave, like, even if I'm dying today, I kind of, like, leave something after me that has, like, a trace, you know, because my records are a part of my kind of life, you know. Yeah. So that's the only problem with the digital kind of thing. It's like, well, here's my daddy's hard drive.
Same thing with photos.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't develop photos anymore. As you said, if you go to
here, my son, here's my hard drive.
Yeah, it's not so like, you know, your parents or whatever, when they you know, pass away, you have their photo albums, you know. But when you pass away with your kids, you have, like, your Facebook account. What the fuck, you know?
Here
or Instagram.
Here is the login for my iCloud.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. So, but no one develops photos anymore. So I think it's. But I mean, vinyls is still something that people like to collect, you know. So we always make sure that we release everything on vinyl, because it's. And I think not for the sound is one thing, but we are, like, really, we grew up with great artwork, great record covers, you know. Everything from Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, to Beatles, you know, everything, you know, because it's like something that you looked at, you know, and was holding while you were listening to the new album with whatever, you know. It took you a year to find all the small little things on that Number of the Beast album, all the small little ghosts hiding anywhere, you know. It's fun, you know. You don't have that these days. You need a fucking... Yeah, but you know what I mean.
So. Computer and to watch it. And the best thing to watch a band is to go on live shows, and that's what we do today. Yeah. So thank you for the short time. Enjoy the time on stage.
Sound check.
And yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.